Hi and welcome back to C5 Basics. Today I want to introduce you to a method of website design and development and troubleshooting that I'm using more and more frequently. It's using the developer tools that are built into both the browser of Chrome and the Mozilla Firefox browser. They have similar products for developers. These developer tools will not only help you troubleshoot problems when unexpected occurrences happen on your site, but more and more I've been able to use them to tweak my site to see how things would look and toggle back and forth, and then even more importantly find the shortcut to what part of the code I need to modify to make the corrections that really at the end of the day I find most pleasing. I think you'll like using these. Right now we're viewing my sample site on Google Chrome. As I hover over the site, I can right-click in any area and select Inspect Element. Now when I do that, this whole analytical console opens up. Here's the development tools, and you'll see the text that I selected or clicked over is highlighted here. And let me slide this down a little bit. You'll also notice that when I hover, it's highlighted on the site. Let me show you that as I change lines that pertain to different parts of the site. It also moves, there's indicators and color grids on my actual website confirming that that's what I'm looking at. Now let's assume that perhaps I opened up in a wrong area and I want to look at something totally different. Well, it's quite simple. I can click on the magnifying glass, the search area, go up to there, click on it, and now the line that identifies that part of my website is highlighted down in my developer tools. So why am I showing you this? Well, quite simply, I've had a number of people ask me, how do I look for an area? Where do I find the line of code I need to change to make my site look differently? For example, at the top of the page, you'll see there's a lot of real estate here. This white area you may feel is being wasted. If I select that area, and again we can also search, click on there to select it, and the proper line now is highlighted. We can view that line. It's identified as obviously being in the header area div. Now we look over to the right. We'll see that in our website code, padding for the top of the page is specified at 55 pixels. So this white space here corresponds with this padding top 55 pixels. Well, that's interesting, but what do we do with it? Well, quite simply, let's click on that 55 pixels and change it to 10 pixels. Take a look at what happened on our site. All that excess white space on the top has now disappeared. If I refresh the page, the original content shows back. Again, we can change that. Let's say now 15 pixels. And we have a reduced area at the top of our site. I can check and uncheck it. There's no padding. There's 15. Or refresh the site. And there's the original 55. From this point, I have enough information to say I like one style or one view better than the other. And where do I make those changes? The information here is recorded over here, and you'll note it says typography.css. So in my website installation, that's the file I'd like to look for. It would be typography, CSS, and if I hover over it, it'll also give me what line to look on. and it is line 13. What could be easier than that for a developer? I don't have to hunt for it. There's no complicated searching. Right away on my site, I was able to determine what line to change in the code in order to get a look that I prefer to show you. Now this is a little more complicated than a lot of the material that we've gone over. A few of you have done this and many have not. So when in doubt, ask a developer to help you with this the first few times. But it really is quite simple. You can determine the changes yourself just by, once again, right-clicking, inspect element, and then using the console to display your web page and make modifications. Now, incidentally, every modification you make with developer tools is temporary and only displays on your screen. To make permanent changes, again, work with a developer, or if you're comfortable in tackling it yourself, you can make manual changes to your theme. The changes we can always find on this console just by looking to see what area is controlled by what line. So there you have it. A brief introduction to developer tools. Use it, experiment with it. The results are temporary, but they're a great window, a great tool for you to see what your site can look like without actually going in and changing it permanently. However, if you like the looks, go ahead and tackle it, or ask a developer to give you a hand with it. You've already done half the work by determining what changes you want done. Hey, thanks for joining me today. I'm Adrian, the Arvixe Web Hosting and Concrete5 Community Liaison. If you have any questions or comments about today's presentation or would like to recommend another one, please contact me at adrian.rick@arvixe.com.